the 2K1A play-by-play. Welcome to the stream. I'm HT. That's Danny. These are the charts. These are the news. This is the news, and this is the update. Um, it's been a while. Apologies for the lack of uploads. We are back. We are officially back and on go. We are ready for it. How you doing, Danny?
Yeah, not too bad. Look, we're seeing a lot of green right now, so I mean,
Praise the Lord.
yeah,
Praise Cthulhu.
been a long time coming. Been a long time coming.
And what did we say? We called it, man. We called it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a
Oh,
delay and definitely one to wash the rest of the, just wash the market. It was looking like we were gonna go up in June, July, but we had that final wash, and we had a lot of bearishness, and that wiped out pretty much all the weekends. And now we've just built this pretty big base, and now it's just go time. So we'll see how long this lasts, and hopefully we can get a nice month stretch of a bull market.
yeah, man. To be honest with you, I didn't expect it to be this rapid. I thought it would be, a steady pace, but you can never, predict what's going to happen in these markets in these times. And hey, man, we've hit doubles. We've already hit doubles. We've got some risk-free positions now. Just last night while I was sleeping, um, I got my double on LIT USDT.
Yeah, congrats, congrats.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was a nice little sniper trade at 67 cents, and we got filled out. And we hit our double. There's a few that we are close to getting doubles at. I mean, you with INJ. INJ looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Um, do you want to walk us through what you're seeing in the markets? You've got control here, so walk us through.
Uh, actually, before we even get to the charts, I found this little quote from John Maynard Keynes, and
Oh my
yeah, it's
God.
to be honest, it's a very
Oh,
nice quote, um, and it just rolled off pretty nicely. So it was the master economist must possess a rare combination of gifts. He must be mathematician, historian, statesman, philosopher in some degree. He must understand symbols and speak in words. He must contemplate the particular in terms of the general, and touch abstract and concrete in the same flight of thought. He must study the present in the light of the past for the purposes of the future. No part of man's nature or his institutions must be entirely outside his regard. He must be purposeful and disinterested in a simultaneous mood, as aloof and as incorruptible as an artist, yet sometimes as near to earth as a politician. What did you think of that, HT?
I think you know my stance on John Maynard Keynes. One, it's a great quote, and it is very true. You have to be a juggler as a trader and as an economist, and that's 100% true. However, all I gotta say is F John Maynard Keynes. Fuck that guy. He's a piece of absolute dog shit. Now, sorry for the horrible language, but if you guys know who this man is, and if you guys have read the Bitcoin Standard, you guys know that the economy and how the world is run to this day is because of that man. Now, just a brief history on John Maynard Keynes. He was born into a really wealthy family in England. I forgot where. His father was in the banking sector or some type of businessman that was extremely wealthy. Now, uh, Mr. Keynes studied economy or got into economy, but then actually failed as an economist, funnily enough, and he started to perpetuate these ridiculous ideas about how the government should be the people controlling money flow, should be in control of the access and distribution of money. That money should not be tied to gold. It should be tied to government trust and thereby central authority trust, that being the banks, which is very convenient considering his family are integrated in the banking sector. Um, this person is an absolute corrupt and maleficent person. Uh, 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 he basically gave people's rights away and put it into the hands of these bankers. He gave the bankers complete control of when the control of money, the money flow, so the printing of money. He actually said that inflation was good. It was good to print money because it forced people to work harder. It forced people to consume more. He basically completely changed the psyche of humanity by saying we should be spending more, we should be consuming, we should be materialistic. And he actually, in one of his memoirs and in one of his uh, books, he actually quoted saying that it was good to have war because war
It's
was and
profitable.
it was extremely profitable because it forces banks to print more money and it forces people to spend, right? And to enact that war. So the blood on this man's hands is endless. He's the root cause of inflation across the whole world. He's the root cause of centralized control. He is the root cause of most economic economic disasters. I would argue all economic disasters after the annexation of uh, uh, the gold standard. So for me, I don't hate this person. I think he's an absolute idiot, and he basically made the sheep, that being the people of his time, think that he was correct, and the news and the media at the time basically uh, uh, um, pushed his agenda and pushed the central bank agenda. Um, so fuck that guy, honestly,
I mean,
seriously.
before the podcast, I was just saying, look, it's a bit of 50-50, right? Because you got like, yes, he's obviously, at that time, the world of economics isn't like what it, I mean, obviously it wasn't like what it is today, but in terms of how societies might have been structured back then, there were probably a lot of factors that caused him to think that certain way where, you want to go from deflationary type economics to inflationary and growth driven, and obviously that I would argue, even though like you said you and I probably don't agree with some of his ideologies and his beliefs and his systems, but you could one could argue that, you know at at the cost of the basically at the cost of what's happened today, the result of what he's done, the result of his actions, I would say, yes, obviously the after effects, aren't great, but in terms of possibly industrialization, growth, we probably might not have even had some of these companies and technological advancements and what you would call competition in the business world and in economics. So I would argue that, there was probably there's definitely some benefits to what he's done, because otherwise he wouldn't have been as famous as he is. And yes, I personally don't know his full history, but I like I said, you could probably argue that, you know some of his ideologies may have affected, you know, the way that industries and industrialization of the workforce, so that we could have like get all these advancements. We got computers, we got cars, because back then, everyone was using horses and horseback. So it was a different world back then, and I think we need to also open our eyes to that side of the way of economics as well. But yes, look, definitely the way that the system is now definitely needs to change, and that's the whole evolution of economics. It's learning from the effects of the system and building on it and finding solutions. And
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to intercede, butt in here and just say that, to be honest with you, I think that's a stretch. The idea that his ideas were basically a catalyst for the Industrial Revolution. Like, I know you might be saying that it might be a factor. I would say it shouldn't be a factor, and I would argue that it isn't. I think it might have sped up the process,
mm,
but but it where we were going and where we have come would still have happened, and I would argue we'd be even better off if we remained on that gold standard thinking, that
mm,
gold standard economics. Um, I would agree that yes, a centralized control of money at that time would have forced speedier industrialization and would have caused more flourishing in the short term, I would add. In the short term. Um, we could make this argument, we can analogize this to Solana. Solana being a very centralized crypto, right? That can do many transactions per second. However, there's a caveat, and that caveat is that it's centrally controlled and it's prone to exploitation. And that's exactly the case with Keynesian economics. Yes, it's a little bit faster, but it's prone to exploitation. And the exploitation is your bailing of the bankers. That's the stealing of generational wealth. And you're the biggest person that I've that has told me about all of this generational wealth being stolen from our generation and generations to come because of the bailouts in 2008. And I would explicitly say that that is a direct result of that man's thinking. The idea that uh, his ideas were the banks are infallible. They can't make a mistake because they're the ones that should be in control. That was the ethos of his um, idea. That was his ethos and his thesis about what economics should be. So I would, tip my hat and say yes, it would have sped up the process, but I think we would have got there no matter what. It's just that it would have been a little bit slower. So, but again, there's always a middle ground. He can't be all terrible, but he can't be all good.
yeah.
I
And
would say
look, like you were
yeah,
saying, HT, it's uh, basically, I wouldn't say it was all down to him. Um, Obviously, like, I would say it's a culmination of basically like historical events all culminating to the situation that we're in now.
yeah,
You could say that yes, he had a part to play, but
a big part,
it wouldn't have been just him. There was probably way more strings being pulled.
of
There's
course.
all these conspiracy. You can get down this conspiracy rabbit hole, obviously,
Well,
but
him being the proponent of an inflationary system is not a conspiracy. Him being the one that states banks should be in central control is not a conspiracy. This is all on record and all historically accurate. But I would agree that there are some things that must have happened as well. Um, so to tie a bow around this, I would say anyone listening definitely read the Bitcoin standard, and on top of that, read the fiat standard. If you want to understand why the system is the way it is, how it came to be, and what possible alternatives and what's emerging now, that being the crypto space, is going to be hopefully the new wave economics.
Yeah, and this is
What we
just
should have had.
yeah, this is just new thinking. So,
Yes.
yeah, and this is the way forward. But in terms of back, I would say it's like last generation. Like imagine, you know, it's imagine the environment like a generation ago or 2 generations ago. You don't have the luxury of information. Not everyone was taught in schools even.
That's true.
People were just trying to survive. So, you go from trying to survive to trying to become philosophical, educational, and think about economics. Not, I would argue that, 0.0001% of people were thinking about economics because you've got families to feed, you've got a job to do. So obviously people weren't thinking about all these type of things. And I think that's why at that time
Hmm.
the thinking at the time was, well, let's drive growth because then we could start to feed families and grow. And that was probably that. And I'm just trying to put myself into the shoes in history. So I try, you got you that's and that's part of that quote is you got to be a mathematician, an historian, a philosopher. You need to put
Yeah.
yourself in the shoes of the time, and that's where this is a pretty cool concept, is that you know time is like timeless. It's hard to it's so easy to just say, but it's not easy to put yourself, because you weren't around for a generational period. So it's like putting a caveman 2,000 years into the future.
Hmm.
Like you probably wouldn't be able to fathom. He probably wouldn't be able to survive, to be honest. And,
Yeah.
and that's actually a cool question. Is put a caveman 10,000, like a thousand, 2,000 years into the future, where there's cars, there's computers, there's all this, and all he knows how to do is start a fire. Like
He'd lose
he's
his mind.
he's not going to be very useful. He's going to lose his mind. It's just it's different thinking. It's a lot more like 2,000 years. If 2,000 years of human evolution and thinking and knowledge, that's powerful. Like time is powerful. And I think that that's where information gets lost, is that
Hmm.
through time, through the decades, through the centuries, it's a culmination of knowledge and wealth that gets built into the actual, it gets passed down from generation to generation. So we're constantly evolving, and that's the beauty of it. It's that yes, like mistakes were made in the past, but the reason why we're still here is because we've made improvements into the future. Like I would dare say that we've learnt from our past mistakes.
Of
Otherwise, we would
course.
have wiped ourselves out
Of
completely
course. Yeah.
by
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
And you could talk about you can talk about all these empires. We've probably learnt something along the lines. So, otherwise we would have been destroyed by nukes by now at this point. Who knows?
That's true. That
But
is
yeah,
true.
no, like, look, it's just obviously I don't agree with the way that like the fiat system and how our global and how our fiat currencies and how governments have centralized our money supplies. Of course, I don't agree with it, but there was a reason why it led up to this point. I mean, at the time, it was probably a great idea, but obviously foresight, you don't have, like, for example, even now, we could say yes, Bitcoin's like the new crypto system, the blockchain technology, that's the best way forward. But imagine 1,000, maybe even two, three, 400 years from now, you know, people, generations of like basically the next 2 or 3, 4 generations, they might look back at us and laugh at us because we were using shitty old blockchain technology, and they're now like running on who knows quantum chips and whatever they're doing. So it's think it, and that's cool to think about. It's it's not something everyone thinks about every day. It's pretty cool that we can have the time to think about something like that. But what I said probably didn't make a lot of sense because I'm not very
No,
good at
no, it made sense.
expressing my thoughts into words. But it's something to think about.
No, no, that made perfect sense. And to be honest with you, you're correct. Probably people at that time thought that this was a good idea, and they didn't have the
Exactly.
luxury. They didn't have the luxury of understanding the ramifications of this idea,
Exactly. So
right?
that's my counter argument. But obviously, I'm
No,
just here
very
to
valid,
I'm just
very
here to
valid.
create, debates.
Well, you're playing devil's advocate, and that's
Yeah,
how discourse should be done. That's very true, man. That's very true. Now, the good stuff, the charts,
that's it.
the green, the money, the freaking beautiful setups and ideas that we've been telling you for the past 3-4 weeks now. I mean, this is it, guys. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what Danny was talking about. That um, we're gonna find a sudden rush of liquidity coming into um, the market, and this is the time. I mean, for 2 days now, we've been overall green. We are trending up um, across all assets or most assets, I would say. So Danny, show us what you're looking at. You've got total control here. So let's see what you're looking at here.
Yeah, well, something of note over the past day or two. I've noticed Band, BAND, that's had a pop up. We've had about a 100, I would say 100, 200% move. We've had Mask, MASK, USDT, that's gone up about 500% in the past 2 weeks.
Great.
Looking into a couple of newer ones that popped, AR popped recently, about a 50% move up there as well. We've had LIT. We've had a quite steady move with LIT. There's a couple out there that looks ready to pop. Obviously, we've
It
had
looks like it's getting.
QNT.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, QNT's looking like it's gonna retrace. Let's see here. Moon River has had its. It looks like it
Morpheus.
might want to
Morpheus.
continue forward,
Yeah.
and break the highs there. Perp's looking interesting. It's trying to pop up and gain
Ooh,
some momentum.
ooh, baby.
INJ has been quite steady. It's got nice volume coming in. But yeah, HT. What about you? What have you been looking at?
Dude. So let's look at QNT, guys, because QNT has been pumping for the past 3-4 weeks now, or 3 weeks now. And Danny, yesterday before we started, today actually before we started the stream was saying how QNT was a leading indicator for all crypto markets, the altcoin market, and that's why it's retracing now because it basically had the pump before the pump. And So I've been doing a bit of analysis on QNT, and I've found a few gaps that most certainly will get filled down at the $80 range and the $100 range. So that's a perfect 78.6% retracement back down into the underside of value. Uh, so that I've been keeping a close eye on this because I want to be in this. I think QNT in terms of interoperability is going to be the leading assets in the crypto space. Um, it looks really good. They're working with Amazon, Amazon Web Service, and Fortune 500 companies. So this is a big play. Another play that I'm looking at is another perpetual, which is Perp. I've been slowly accumulating Perp for a while now. Um, and man, it looks like it wants to pump
Look,
now.
it's already it's literally pumping as we speak. So
Uh, so we're doing good here. We basically bought down here at value, and if you zoom out, I mean, it has to pump. It's just basically been tumbling.
Yeah,
So
and I would dare say that perp has that, 1000x potential.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's got multiples written all over it for sure.
it looks very, very, very promising. So guys, if you're looking, I mean, this could be a big one. Um, another another one that I'm looking at the moment that I was uh, uh, investing in for a while now is Secret. So that looks like it wants to set up for a rally.
Yeah, it
We're
looks really
basically at the
nice.
bottom side of value. Um,
It's looking like it's trying to break out of the Bollinger Band squeeze on RSI and probably Bollinger Band itself. Yeah, it's still it's
Look at
all
that.
trying to break out. It's looking very beautiful here, guys.
Beautiful, beautiful. Another one that I got into early that I sniped actually was ATA. ATA looks really, really decent. Um, not as good as Perp, but very, very nice.
Yeah, nice
Uh,
volume spikes coming in. Let's have a look at the Bollinger Bands on here. Yeah, it's trying to squeeze, man. It's trying to break out, and it's all it needs is a little push. That's
So
all it needs.
it's got a lot of room to grow. It's got a lot of room to
Big
grow.
room to grow.
Actually, I threw on a trade just this morning, and that was with ANT. I actually didn't tell you about this, Danny. ANT.
That looks really good
Yeah.
too. Yeah, A&T looks really nice.
Just this morning, I did a bit of study, so I've been practicing GAN the past couple of weeks, guys, and I have it's basically at the perfect location, at value, reload zones, and at the 8-to-1 GAN level. Perfect. We've got nice bullish divergence coming in. Bollinger Band is making a W through the RSI, and it's actually expanded. Uh, the Bollinger Band itself is squeezing. It's got a lot of room to grow. A lot of room to grow. Um, yeah, there's so many. There's so many. Matic, I am in as well. It was a beautiful bot setup. Um, and that is pumping at the moment. Uh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a very nice bot setup right there.
beautiful little ABCD. Boom, boom, beautiful.
Very
So
nice.
that's
Just
exactly my exit point. $1.45.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the trade there, guys.
So that's me, man. That's me. I'm just I basically took my double from LIT that I got this morning, and I moved it into ANT, and that's it, man. This is the game. This is how you make your money work for you.
Yeah, and look, heading forward, rotational plays, it might become a thing again. So keep an eye out because when you can get into rotational plays in a bull market, that's where you can make multiples and multiples within a couple of months. So it's one of those things where if you're light on your toes, it's so easy to just make money. It
So
really is that easy. But you've just got to do your research, follow your plan, stick to the process, and yeah, go from there.
hey, take a look at Dodo. I know it's a silly name, but very small market cap. Even CTX later. CTK, sorry. CTK also looks good, but Dodo looks great as well.
Yeah, Dodo looks really good here.
It's perfect location. CTK looks good as well. Uh,
Yeah, CTK looks pretty good.
so those are my rotational ideas. Dodo, CTK. Let me pull
Yeah.
up my
What
other
happened
list.
to VIDT?
I saw that. It actually got delisted off Binance.
Yeah, is there a reason for that?
I
Because it
have no
was it was
idea.
pumping.
I have no idea. I don't understand why. Um, all of a sudden I go to check it because I was waiting for a retrace, and it wasn't there. And I checked online on CoinGecko, and it said that it was removed off Binance. So some type of shady business is happening. So
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys weren't in it. So yeah, be careful out there. You got to make sure that what you're in is legit and it's not going to be rug pulled or God knows. What about you, Danny? Are you looking at anything? Is there anything of interest to you?
No, not really. I mean, it's what we expected. So I'm not really too surprised. I mean, all I'm looking at is just the some of the coins that look ready to pump that haven't quite pumped yet. And if you haven't, if you've been washed out and you're looking for a re-entry, try and look around HBuy. You can look around like some other names that we were talking about, like Dodo. Uh, let's have a look at Doc. No, DF had its
Had its pump
little
already.
big pump. I would say that perp is something I might try and sneak in and add a bit more into my position, just because I feel like it's got a lot of potential,
It's
and
got big
I'm willing
potential. Yeah.
to try and get a double here and just rotate around once I get that double. But yeah, look, everything's pretty green. Uh, I would say we're looking pretty good for the next couple of weeks. Um, but then yeah, at some point we're gonna start getting some retracements. So make sure that you take those profits and set your levels that you're wanting to take your profits at because this might not last a long time. Um,
Exactly right.
but at the same time, look, if you're looking to have a position in for the next couple of months, all of the altcoins have been washed out. So it's not bad to try and dollar cost average in on some of these names.
Yeah, they look good, man. They look really, really good. So DCA, accumulate your positions into your long-term play. And if you guys are like your day traders or your swing traders, definitely look at the perfect position, trade your setups, or as always. And yeah, shoot us messages on our on Twitter to Crypto One Analyst. What you're looking at, what you want us to look at. Um, yeah, there's definitely big moves happening at the moment. And
Yeah.
also be advised, there is a Senate election coming in T minus 5 days. Okay, that is for us. It's Wednesday the 9th, and for America, it's Tuesday the 8th. We are ahead in time, so be aware. This could be, a pump before the election. So keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out.
And look at this XCAD. I think we drew this trend line a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
and exactly what I thought would happen. This is why you don't take a trade on the breakout of a trend line. If you took your trade here, you're underwater. So, and it just emmed out, and it's trying to retest. But that's why you always wait for structure on the other side of the trend
exactly.
line. So, if anyone that had saw the break of the trend line and thought it was gonna actually just rocket, you know, it's dangerous because you don't have structure to work with, and it's obviously it can play in your favor if it does rally very hard, but obviously if it doesn't, you're going to be sitting underwater, and then obviously whilst like imagine if you had taken this trade and when you could have been in Mask or you could have been in LIT or you could have been in AR, it's one of
Or
those
per.
things where you can be kicking yourself if you're rushing and not waiting for the right opportunity to come in.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So keep your eyes out, man. Keep your eyes out. Do you know what you're gonna rotate your next position into? What's your first thing that you're gonna, what that you believe is gonna be, you know, the play?
Well, you got to play it by you gotta it's a case by case basis. It depends when you get your double, because once you've got your double, that now it's just a matter of finding the next one that looks like it's ready to pump. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get 100% hit rate, but
Yeah.
you can get pretty decent if you know what you're doing. In terms of the next play, I don't know. I think I'm gonna lean. I'm leaning more towards perp and I would say perp and H bar. Other than that, I don't see too many other decent ones that have potential. Um, Still keeping my eye on Neblio. Uh, yeah, I think there's not too many other coins that are sticking out to me at the moment. Um,
Well, to be honest with you, H bar is going to be a really great play. And we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, in regards to H bar being included into the ISO standard, which is basically your new economic standard for any securities or cryptos coming into the future and coming into the market from 2022 onwards. So basically, they're going to become regulated. They're going to become a legitimate, in the eyes of the government, a legitimate security, a legitimate asset, as is QNT, as is Stellar Network, as is ADA, as is Algorand. So that's a great play, and it's basically at the bottom of its range. Perfect time to enter, perfect time to keep an eye out. It's in the perfect location.
yeah, and look, I think definitely Algo is one I'll be looking to rotate into. I'm probably gonna wait for a retrace. If it leaves, if it breaks out if it breaks out of this tight range, I'll probably let it go and just wait for that deep retrace back to about the 40-35 cent level.
Yeah,
But I think if it does pump, it's probably going to only go up to about 60-70 cents
that's
short
where my
term.
double is.
So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much where the doubles are. So
Exactly.
it's kind of and it makes sense. I mean, and look at how the way that the structure is set. It's like it looks pretty much set up for a 2-to-1,
Yeah,
as if it's just by nature that it's this is yeah. Look at that.
it's
I mean,
like it's
it's literally written in stone at this point.
yeah,
So I
it's
mean,
written in the stars.
that's it. And HT, you've been learning a lot more and more about GAN and everything, and how how nature works and everything. So you're definitely feeling a lot more better about this, I guess, and a lot more confident in what you're doing.
Honestly, much more confident. I would say in the past 2 weeks of studying GAN and actually implementing it into my trading
And
plan.
just bringing it all together with all the other concepts, I guess, is a big
Genuinely,
thing.
it's exactly as you said, Danny. It made everything click and it made everything feel right.
Almost like
And
the final piece of the puzzle, I guess.
100%, 100%. And honestly, I feel I became a better trader in the past 2 weeks. I would say maybe 20 to 30% better. Like before, I knew my process. I knew the three steps that I needed. GAN kind of made it seem like, oh, if this happens, I know where to enter, where to exit. I know what the market wants because of this fundamental part of nature, which is market vibration and where it wants to go. Beautiful. It's a beautiful study. I absolutely love GAN.
Yeah, and I knew you would like it because I knew that one of the concepts you were struggling with for technical analysis was location. I felt
Exactly.
like it was missing something. Fibonacci's weren't quite cutting it. It was a bit too cut and dry.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, obviously going into GAN, it's given you that depth or that extra perspective. It's you know, Fibonacci retracements and GAN, location-wise, tool-wise, are essentially the same thing, but you know, everyone's got their own tastes and preferences, and that's what we stress here is, you could learn every single thing, but you'll always fall back to, you know, for range traders, they love their Fibonacci's. They'll always fall back to that. For maybe momentum traders, they prefer to have their location with GAN. So, it's all about taste and your perspectives. Everyone's got different perspectives, and that's the beauty of technical analysis.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's an art form, man. It's an art form, and the cool thing about GAN and everything else is just that it all starts to work together. Fibonacci's work great with GAN. Fibonacci extensions work great with GAN. Chaos works great with GAN. VPVR. Everything it's like a puzzle piece. It was beautiful. Um, so yeah, man. Hey, BNT you spoke about a while ago. How does it look to you now?
I'd I'd have some analysis on my other chart for it. But oh my God. I mean, BNT is one of those names, man, where Bancor, I know from shout out to Hero Labs, but um, I think it's Daniel or Danny from Hero Labs. Yeah, he was big on Bancor and the project and the team behind Bancor. The only thing that, didn't give them that edge was they didn't release any of their projects um, in time essentially, and they've been holding off on it. But
Uh,
that could be good for the long run, but we've got to wait and see because yeah, they were building on in the background whilst everything else was pumping in DeFi, back about a year ago. So but look, lots of volume coming in, and it's one of those names that has also been completely washed out. Like no one's talking about Bandcore, but all it takes for Bandcore is just a sneeze, just a little bit of
yeah.
news, and you could see pumps up to $2, $3 again. And from where we are now at 40, 50 cents, that's quite easily 300, 400%. And that's
Yeah.
being conservative. So in terms of risk to reward, this is probably the best risk to reward you'll see in a long time in crypto in for the next maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5 years, I dare say.
Yeah.
No one's going to get this type of risk reward window for a long time. So guys, make sure that you can try and squeeze in or sneak in or at least take small bets because they'll pay off in the long run. When you're coming in with this amount of risk, I mean, obviously you would say, yeah, 30, 40% risk, but if it pays off and this holds, you got a strong base building. Now, if it pays off, you're risking 30% for a potential 3, 4, 500%. Like, I don't think anyone in the world wouldn't take that bet. Um,
100%.
it's just too good to not take. So definitely one of those things where if you play your cards right, it's you can put yourself in a very good position going forward. And it's all about being in a good position. You always be in a position of strength. And that's one of the big quotes that rings inside me when with Brian.
Hmm.
Always be in that position of strength. Never be in a position of weakness.
Um, Danny, would you humor me and do a GAN study on this?
Well, for Bandcore at the moment,
It
there's
hasn't
not
really done anything.
really any structure that you could probably go off of. It's
Yeah,
still it's
it's
I
very
mean
flat.
it's looking good, but it's very very wishy-washy right now. I would say let it build some structure for maybe the next month or so, and then from there I think you could draw some better GAN studies from here.
Right.
But just looking at it from a just from a location perspective, I mean if we really wanted to draw a GAN, I would probably go from this one here. But
Yeah.
where we are now is probably below the 8 to 1. So, you don't
Ah,
even need to look at it to know that you're
it's a
in
good
you're
position.
in a good location. I mean,
Yeah.
I could draw a GAN fan here, just as an example. But the way I draw it would probably be it's a bit weirder. But I would probably do something like this, and let's watch how this moves because I'm pretty sure. Okay, so there's your structure here on the other side of this. And look how it
Hmm.
played ping pong between my blue and purple. and it's come to resistance at the 1-to-1 here. This was the support, broke through the support, and now we're just sitting way below this. See how it's tried to even break, it's tried to push up, but it's being rejected. So we've got to find a new base, and trend line breaks on the other side of this is a really good location to be in. We're below the 8-to-1, so we're definitely washed out with volume. Bancor could, and it's a good thing that you brought it up there, HT, because Bancor could be one of those dark horses, I feel.
It looks like a dark horse,
It does
man.
look like a dark horse. Don't get me wrong. I've been keeping my eye on it for a long time. For a long, long time. I never bought into Bancor, but if there was a time, it would be now. It would be somewhere around here.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes out on it because I mean, let's have a look at the volume profile here. It's completely washed out. There are definitely multiples to be made here in Bancor. All it takes, like I said, is just that little push, that little bit of bullish news, but a little bit of bullish momentum to just bring it to life. And when you see something being brought to life, it's amazing. It is very amazing. So,
Well, it's interesting.
yeah.
Look at the RSI. The RSI is kind of expanding at the moment. It looks like wants to make a big old W.
And guys, look,
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
you know what we talk about here when in MACD. When you guys see a weekly momentum MACD divergence, it's just it's done. Like look at the weekly RSI squeeze with momentum. This is guys, you're not going to see a better location and a you know this might just be my next rotation because
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where you don't have to put a lot of money in something like this. You could put in, 100, 200, 300, a grand, and you could turn that into 10,000, 100,000 quite easily
Easily.
just from this little trade here. You could literally be set up. This could, pay for your education. This could, pay for your car. It could pay for your mortgage. It's one of those things where just paying attention um, could really help you in the long run.
Hey man, this is. I hope you guys are enjoying this, because where else are you gonna find gems like this? Um, Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And honestly, I am chomping at the bits to rotate into this.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, there's no rush. We're definitely still waiting on structure, so definitely
yeah,
no rush. But look, it's probably closer than ever to being at a bottom. You've got a lot of buyers stepping up coming in, so they're
yeah.
trying to build their positions around here. So we've got to follow them. You got to follow the whales.
Hey, look at XLM for me. I know you don't really aren't really interested in Stellar.
I wouldn't say I'm not interested in Stellar. It's just it's not something that's on my radar.
Mm.
But at the same time, something like this, similar concepts, you're in great location, so why wouldn't you take a stab, you know?
And the only reason why I'm interested is it's actually been approved for that ISO standard. Like
Yeah, so if you've
if
got a news play,
exactly.
surely go for it, there's no reason to not be in it. And you could do a little triangle study here as well. I would say a breakout like this, a W on the other side or a breakout of this, that's a decent momentum trade. And you could even put in, I wish I had dominoes here, but it's probably looking really good as well there. I mean, let's go have a look at a weekly.
Look at that.
Yeah, so we got divergence here,
Confirmed as well.
confirmed divergence. We're just waiting on structure, and the structure could be that triangle momentum breakout here. So keep an eye out. Stellar is don't don't leave it out. Don't leave it out for sure.
100%.
And look at
100%.
the Willy, it's just completely washed out. These are the things you want to be seeing.
Beautiful.
But yeah, look, obviously, I think I was saying a couple of days ago, I'm not too bullish on XLM, but based off of today's movement, it's not terrible, it's not bad. We just gotta be a bit. I would be a little bit more patient, but for someone that will forego that if that price risk, they could definitely get in at a good price. So it's all about that information versus price risk.
Yeah. And honestly, you could just DCA into this. If you think it's going to be a good play, just DCA. $50 a week and you're good. That could turn into a grand easily.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Anything else you'd like to, talk about?
No, not too much. I mean, just enjoy the November, I guess. November alt season.
Exactly right. Enjoy that volatility, guys. Enjoy it. How about we do a play-by-play for these good people?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? I mean, we haven't done one for a while, so we might as well get right into SPY. No, I will do the ES. I will do the ES, and I think it's good for me that I haven't been following the ES, so I can actually do some decent charts on
Nice
on the
practicing, yeah.
ES. I kind of stuffed it, but that's okay. I was gonna use my other chart for this, but that's fine. Are we happy on a 5 minute?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll take a 5 minute. What day? What day? What day? What's today's date? Today is
The 4th of the
4th
11th.
of the 11th. So let's do, what's a week? Is that like the 28th, 27th?
A week prior was the 28th.
28th. So let's go around here. So we'll go all the way here and we'll go up our replay and we'll just hit there. And we shall bring that up. Perfect. So, alright, well, let's start. So I guess for now, let's just look at the time. So right here we're just on New York Open here, so we'll go a bit slow
I am
here.
seeing already a potential short bot setup, but we shall see.
Yeah, so we're at New York's gonna be about here at 22 at about, no, am I wrong? No, yeah, it's around here. It's about 11:30.
Okay.
So we'll keep playing it. So it's just around here. Um, Not seeing too much, to be honest. I feel like if anything, I would take a short around here.
Yeah, that's
Um,
exactly what I was thinking.
but
But
that's pretty risky. So
I would actually double check the momentum here. Um, we haven't got a clear W on the RSI to suggest that it's mm, yeah, that it's not completely done, the downtrend that is. And to be honest with you, zoom out on the price structure.
like this.
Yep. And do you mind drawing a bots ABCD? So from that big plunge at around 6 a.m. Yeah, there.
Is
Well,
that what you're thinking?
could be, could be.
So look, it's
It
a
might be a big one.
it's a big
Yeah,
stretch because
yeah,
you don't see this often in futures or day trading. I mean, it's possible, but this is a fast stretch.
yeah.
It's too much volatility. I mean, it's definitely happened before, but I wouldn't say in this current environment. Um, I mean, I'd honestly be looking just short term. Let's see. I would just try to be looking for a short and trying to pick it back
Yeah, I'm
off that.
thinking short as well. Yeah.
But who knows? Who
Let,
knows? Let's
let
go.
us.
So I guess I'm willing to take my short here, but look, I'm probably gonna get stopped, to be honest.
Um,
Let's find out.
I will wait.
Yeah, we got, well, I got stopped there, so
So I will wait for the next print
sure.
boom, and that's where I would enter.
This is where you would short?
Yeah,
Well,
and I'll
that's
take it to the late high, not
this one here.
that high. Yeah, there, and I'll take a 2-1, which is basically that Wyckoff check of the W.
Wow,
Just
interesting. Interesting. Oh wow. Oh my God.
there we are.
HT, you sir are a trading genius.
We got there. We got there. That was a
Look at
good, nice little trade.
oh wow, look at guys, look
It's a
at that.
Wyckoff check.
Look
Yeah,
at the instant reversal.
reversal. Yeah.
Instant reversal off of that 2-1 target. So I think you definitely had the right idea there. I got in just a bit too early. It came in. So, and that's one thing that I've noticed in my day trading experience as well is that I came in about, I would say about 40 minutes too early on this trade. So
Mm,
even though I had seen the stop run, there was another stop run up here. Um,
yeah.
so I mean, I had the inverted, no, sorry, the empire, but there was
Mhm,
another one right here, and that was a perfect empire right there.
mhm, mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful trade. Like that's textbook day trading, guys. It doesn't get any cleaner than this type of day trade. That's a very clean trade there, HD.
Thank you, man. That was a beautiful, nice little trade.
And it's
Nice
good to
little
see
trade.
that you're learning from your mistakes.
Yep.
We've
Yep.
made a lot of mistakes, but we're here to learn. So,
That's
and
exactly
that
right.
was a really good move. Um, even you could even say it was like a AB. Yeah, it was like an ABCD move.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like bot setup, but with a FU component built in.
Mhm.
You can think about it like that too. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll keep going. And so we're breaking down here. So the short was the right move, but I was a bit too early up here.
Can you, yeah, I was just gonna say, can you draw horizontal support and resistance from that W at the 930 mark? Yeah, there. I'll take the wick, the tail, excuse me. Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Oh, they actually ran that stop. That's interesting.
Oh, are you talking
Yeah,
about this one
that.
here?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
yeah, that's a good spot
yeah.
actually. That's a very good spot. So you were
Uh,
thinking maybe a possible long up here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I would even join you on that one. Even if we take it here and we risk something like
And
this.
that's a beautiful institutional fingerprint if you see there. That they basically printed an institutional fingerprint at that horizontal support and resistance. They ran them out and now they're gonna take it back up. Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. I mean,
Third time tags.
look at how they tried to just wash it out. But I mean, look, I'm going for a 3-1, which is a bit greedy. Um,
Oh,
but
that is pretty greedy.
but honestly,
Your
two to
2-1 with
ones, two to
yeah,
ones would have hit perfect.
yeah.
So, look, I was just trying to see if we could hit that 3-1.
Hey, we
Sometimes it
might
happens.
still.
Oh no, we got stopped out here. Oh no, we didn't.
Oh no, we're still
No,
in.
we're still in. Okay, we're still in. I thought we would, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna. Yeah, we got
Yeah, there you
stopped.
go. You get stopped out there.
There you go. But yeah, look, I mean,
Two to one. Man.
I would have said for me, stops at scratch. If I didn't hit my target, so I would have been stopped at scratch here. But obviously for you, you like your 2-1, so
I like
you
my
would have
two to
been,
one.
you've been
Yeah.
hit there. Perfect 2-1. Very nice trade there actually. And that's a classic. I think that's a classic 4 a.m. trade. Yeah, yeah, it's a classic trade there at 1 a.m.
It's a
Um,
beautiful swing trade as well, right?
I mean,
Oh, range trade, really.
yeah, I would say it's a range trade here.
Yeah.
I'm taking it back up to this
Um,
breakdown. So right here is that breakdown, that M breakdown here.
yeah,
So
there.
that's your. I
That's a
mean,
little range.
honestly I should have looked at that when I was drawing my risk reward, but caveat emptor.
Um, do you mind looking left? I just would like to see
Sure.
where they might bring it back to.
It's been downtrending, so there's
Oh,
not
it's been.
really much that we can look at other than try and keep taking shorts.
If you take that high before it plummeted,
Are you talking about
Yep.
this one?
Yep. And take a fib. Never mind. Actually, never mind. That wouldn't work.
But yeah, we've rejected off of this now, so I think anywhere a break to the upside is a good location for a short. But we want to check on the time here, so let's say, okay, well let's draw our, so that's our New York, or roughly there. Um, so we're looking at this area here. Yeah, so yeah, we were breaking down here, and this is at London. So
Mm,
let's just see what happens. Let's see what London does. So London's taking it all the way down here, guys. So I'm expecting a move to the back to the
move to the
upside,
upside. Yeah.
back in and look at that, guys. I think you were even right, to be honest,
About that
about
ABCD.
that ABCD. That was a good spot there. So yeah, we've got some room to play with here. Let's keep playing it. Um, but we're coming
They might be
into our
hitting
time.
liquidity, so they're gonna bring it back up to that resistance point. I would assume, and then take it down to that ABCD level.
That's what I was thinking, but they might not do that. Oh, here we go. We got a little bit of a rally.
Yeah.
Let's pay
Take
attention
it.
here. If we can get up here, I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to take it. Even on the next Empire Fractal. Oh, look at
Yeah,
that,
that's
guys.
it.
So this is a hard one because
That's a big
we've
tail.
we've yeah, it's a bit hard to play this type of trade. But definitely up here was the actual trade, and look at that instant rejection. So we missed. I mean, this is where, if you're a day trader, you have to be ready for something like this because they come quick, and it gets to the point where, if you do miss it, don't chase it because it can get ugly very quick. And HT, you probably don't. It's because you're not live trading this. You
Mm,
don't understand this. You might not understand this yet, but this can be very crazy. Um,
yeah.
so you've got to be really light on your toes, and yeah, it's high intensity stuff. But yes, this was the trade for sure, for sure, for sure.
I I'm 100% sure they're gonna bring it down to that
Oh yeah, I
ABCD.
wouldn't I wouldn't put it past them. 100% they're going to take
Yeah.
it down here.
Yeah.
So that was the
Exactly.
trade, guys. Look at that. Look at the
Reversal.
instant reversal off that ABCD, guys. So
Do you, do you mind taking a short so go back to that where the second ABCD is. Yeah, yeah, that peak there, and put a short position. Put a short position there.
from
Yes.
from here,
Yep, from here.
like that.
Yep. And risk to the no, I would say to that midpoint.
Where?
Uh, yeah, exactly there. Exactly there. Yep. That's a beautiful 5 to 1.
I mean, in terms of structure, I would have probably been around there because the ABCD setup would have been like this. But boom, boom, and we go boom, boom, and we go boom, boom. So see how your
That's
25
fine.
line is here?
Yeah.
I mean the standard trade would have been take it here.
Yeah.
That's your level. And so you would have
Sure.
effectively been doing a 3 to 1 about. So you would have been doing this essentially. Look at that,
Yeah.
3 to 1. That's your
The one.
trade there. So
Yeah.
now good spot, and
Beautiful.
like I said back here when you said that ABCD, and I was like, it's a big possibility, but I've seen it do crazy
The
stuff. So,
exact opposite. Yeah.
but but at the same time, I was agreeing with you. It was definitely a possibility, and as soon as we saw this type of structure, we should have been thinking this ABCD move. But yeah, great
Uh,
spot there, HD. Great
thank you,
spot.
thank you. I'm
You
gonna
know
take my
this.
roses on that one.
That's it. And then you could probably even sneak along here if you were really
100%. That's
ballsy.
exactly what I'm thinking.
Really
I'll,
ballsy, you can take a long here and just see what happens. Half the time they'll run this, but if you
two to
get a
one.
two to
Yeah.
one, why not? Why not, right? Yeah,
Oh,
half the
wow. They want
time,
to keep going.
half the time they run the stop, so you can see the M
Wow.
come in. Um, it's one of those ones where try not to do that, obviously,
Yeah.
um, because like look at the time we're at. It's yeah 2, 3, 4 a.m. Could have happened. But in this case, the bear's just very, very powerful, and that's why you never fight the, you never
Left
swim
train.
up. Don't swim upstream, guys.
Yeah.
Try and swim downstream. It's gonna make life a lot easier. But let's watch out for the next time zone. So we're gonna go deep for this one. I think it's about here. So roughly here. Let
I
us.
wonder what the percentage is from that top where it started the plummet. So if you zoom out and go to that very top
Here,
and
this
just
one?
take yeah, a price percentage.
From here
Yeah.
to where?
To the bottom, to the recent
Here?
bottom. Yeah.
6%,
That's a
7%.
6%. So on the futures, is that a regular thing that occurs? Like a
No.
6%?
I
Okay.
mean, a 6% over how many days? One. No, that's not normal.
That's not normal.
Well,
Okay. What would you analogize this to in the crypto market? Would you say that this is like a 70% dump in the crypto market? Like if you were to analogize it to the crypto market?
essentially, yes.
Okay.
You don't in traditional stocks uh, and traditional markets, if you ever see 5% moves, pay attention. Like it's a big day. So for something like this, 5% move, this could be 2 weeks worth of money, 2 weeks
Yeah.
worth of your pay essentially. Um,
Yeah.
in futures or in day trading terms, this could make your week, like in one trade, if you depending on how you trade this. But that's 6% is a massive move. Like even in like point two, point three lots, like this is 2 or 3K right here, easily,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
easily. So and if you play this right, you can get those upswings and downswings. You could easily make 10 grand here with like very little effort, um, quite
So we're
easily.
doing good, guys. We're doing good.
Doing good, but obviously high intensity if a lot of money is on the line here.
Of
Because if
course.
you're wrong, you're wrong. So
Yeah.
uh,
Um,
let's keep
so
going.
we could say that we're looking for a long now. We're looking for a long.
I wouldn't say we're looking for a long. I would say if we get opportunities for a short, go for a short. But if a nice, I would say you'd need a really nice long to set up to go for
Yeah.
a long. But let's have a look.
Actually, we haven't even drawn a trend line yet.
Well, I
Let's
mean,
draw.
we don't really need to. We're going off of levels here, so, but let's draw some trend lines. So this is our
Beautiful.
playground right here. So
That's the playground.
let us continue. Now, HT, you're gonna have to play around with GAN in lower time frames. Um,
Yeah.
it's a very cool tool to have in day
Mhm.
trading, but you got to get used to it and play around with it. It's
Yeah.
definitely one of those tools where you've got to learn and adjust to using it on a day trading basis. Look at that little gap there actually on the 5 minute on
It got
on the yeah,
filled.
so it got filled instantly. So we're at about 9 a.m. This is uh, Tokyo, London. Oh, sorry, Tokyo Open or Tokyo Kill Zone, and we're heading into London. But yeah, looks like we're still downtrending. We looking like we're gonna make a move to the upside here. We've broken out
There
of
we
it.
go.
So
That's
if
really
you're
nice.
on your toes here, you could have drawn
A B C D.
your fibs, and you could have been hunting around here. And if you had your GAN, you might have looked something like that. So that would have been
Yeah.
pretty good too. Um, but let's keep going. Um,
I wonder if it's gonna. Oh wow. Okay, so it went through. Nice.
it's
That's
gonna oscillate. It's definitely just gonna oscillate here. So I'd pay attention here. If we get a dip here, I would say maybe re-enter.
mhm.
If we get steps up here, I'd look for a short. But this one's gonna be tricky. And look how it just ran the. Look how here it just ran the stops for
Yeah.
London here.
I'd
So
actually look to make an enter at 88.6.
yeah, I'd even say as far as to come down to this low here. Um, let's see. This is a
There,
tough one. This
that's
is
a
a
nice little
this is
empire
a
there.
tough one. I'm not sure about this. We're kind of. I feel
Hey,
like we're in the middle of nowhere for me.
we act we actually have a inverted head and shoulders where you drew your fib.
Is that what you're
Um,
looking at?
I was actually looking at a smaller one, but that too actually. Exactly where your fib is? No, no, no. Where you drew the start of your fib, where the 88.6 is? No, no, back at around 5 o'clock. Yeah, that's the head.
So
No,
hold up,
smaller.
hold up. My brain's not working. Give me a sec. What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Are you talking about this one?
There. Yes, there we go.
Why is this inverted head and shoulders?
It's not, is it? It
No,
kind of looks like a slanted inverted head and shoulders.
no. I don't know what you're looking at here, but it's definitely not an inverted head and shoulders.
Mm, okay, that's a stretch.
Very big stretch. I mean, it would have needed to break out too, which it didn't.
Yeah,
So, um, no,
okay.
like finding structure on a 5 minute chart, it's a bit of a
Pretty
stretch
difficult.
because a lot of times you get range and you get chopped up. So,
Yeah.
um, something you got to keep in mind is yes, they look great on paper, but you got to be realistic when you're dealing with 5 minute time frames. It
Mm,
becomes the possibilities for anything to happen is like 100%. Like
yeah,
it's gonna be, it's literally like quantum physics, right? It's like you're gonna get spin plus spin minus spin. You're gonna get them like coming in and out like in milliseconds. So it's very high intensity stuff. You really can't stick with one idea for too long. Because
yeah, that's
if you
true.
stick with an idea for too long, you end up getting hurt on the other side of it. So you have to be able to like the quantum state itself, your brain needs to be able to switch between longs and shorts very easily. You need to become very flexible. Like here I could be hunting a long, but then all it takes is one candle and I'll be hunting a short. So it really is that crazy where literally one candle could change you from see how like you could literally flip from long to short in 10 minutes. So that's the type of intensity. But looking like this is a tough one. I might one of a trade like this for me I might not even touch in New York because it's just something I'm not comfortable with. And you've got to realize that too. Is if you're not comfortable with this, just leave it.
Don't take.
Leave it
Yeah.
and do a paper trade. Because I've seen these turn into crazy losing trades, so don't try not to fight it. It's looking like for me it's gonna push up, but at the same time it could easily just push up, oscillate, and then break down. So
I'm looking for a clear W on the other side of that trend line. And if I do, I'll enter a long.
sure. For me, I'm gonna just yeah, this is too much for me, and Obviously, the level for me, it would have been here. If I was going to go long, I should have been going from here. Um, but
And
if
that's
I
where I
take
would.
if I had taken my long here, I would have been taking profits up here. Um,
That second to that second yeah, there. That's where I would have entered my long.
this one here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, HT, you got to think about my trade here.
Mm.
If I took my trade here, long. If I took my trade, let's say, let's just be conservative and I'll take my trade here. I'm going to be taking profits, let's say here. What's happening whilst I'm taking my profits? You're taking a long here, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful
That is
because
true. That is very true.
because you need to think the people that are taking their longs from here, they're going to be taking profits up here and you're going to be filling them.
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
could get a reversal straight back down and that's where you get stopped.
That's true.
So, I mean, we'll play your trade out.
I'm
Um,
still, yeah. I said it, so I have to take it.
I mean, you don't
So
have to take it, but we'll
no,
take
no,
it.
no.
So
I'll
you
take it
you would
because
have taken your trade here.
that would have been what I have what I
So
would have done.
let's say here,
Yeah.
and where is your stop?
Um. Yeah, that would have been. Actually, the second low.
This one here.
No, 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 lower.
This one
Yeah,
here.
no, no, up. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Let's
Are you
take
talking
that one.
about this one here?
That's what I was gonna do. Yeah,
Okay. Well, so you want a 2-to-1.
a 2-to-1 exactly.
All right, this is some crazy stuff, but let's go.
Let's see if it works out.
I knew you would get stopped
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And watch it actually go up. That would have been the wrong stop loss. What? Oh, never mind.
No, no,
Never
no.
mind.
This is what you did here.
Mm,
Sorry, but that was completely. And
that was
I
wrong
told
trade.
you the reasoning
Yeah, that's
for
yeah,
it
that is fair.
because the reasoning was, anyone that was long up here, they're taking profits. This was a 3-to-1, and so everyone's now shorting up here. Where you just took your entry long, everyone was short. All the day traders that knew what they were
Hmm.
doing, they were shorting here, and so
Yeah,
they would have got two moves,
yeah,
and so
yeah,
these
yeah.
two moves would have been 2 or 3 grand for them, depending on your lot size. Um, whilst you were losing money. So,
Interesting.
but yeah, look,
Interesting.
it is what it is.
Hey, this is how you learn, man.
And
This is exactly how you learn.
one big thing about day trading is for UHT, try not to take day trades where your stops are going to be big. Like if your stop loss is 1%,
Yeah.
if you lose this, you've lost 1 grand. Like you've lost
Hmm.
hundreds of dollars. So try to be a bit more tight with these day trades. Try not to
Okay.
make them too wide. Try to
Yeah.
make them because like we say, the markets range 70% of the time. So you're not going to get these big momentum moves. So try not to take those big
Risk.
positions. Try and keep
Yeah.
it tight. And you'll learn that and you'll see that with GAN itself.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but something just to keep your eye out on.
Yeah.
All right, let's take the next kill zone. So that's about here.
I wonder if it's gonna hit that 88.6 and just jump back up. Because that's
Well,
an institutional fingerprint
it
right there.
it didn't because it ran the
Around the stops.
classic run. It's becoming repetitive. So you run the stops and then we take it up and then we come back down and we're just gonna oscillate between like this. I could almost guarantee that. There you go. In this case, it was just oscillating here. But let's keep playing. Yeah, so it's just oscillating between this range here. It's a big range, so there's a lot of money to be made here. Looking like we're going to M out, but who knows? We might have a
Can you take
momentum
your
push.
fib to the recent high?
Something like this. Is this what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Are you looking at a short fib? What kind of fib do we want
No, no,
here?
no. I just want to see how much it's retracing by.
Well, I mean, I'd need to put on a short fib for this.
Yeah.
So that's 50% tag there. It's looking like it wants to come up to tag the 78.786. There you go.
Yes.
Bit more. There you go. 88
Gonna
6
run the
tag.
stops.
Gonna run the stops possibly. No, 88
Oh,
6 tag and
it is.
instant rejection. That's a powerful move. You know, if you had
Mm.
balls, that's a beautiful trade there. Coming into New York here, we might run the stops, but I don't think so. We're getting nice structure here. We ran the stops here. Now,
This might be a good
you know,
entry.
is this the type of trade that we take? Dangerous, but not a bad idea.
Actually, I would take it.
You would take it.
I would take.
So do you want
Woolies.
to play another bar or do you want to take it from here?
We'll play one more bar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's confirmed.
it's a rough one. Um,
I would have taken it at that second print.
well, let's just go there. Where's your stop?
Risk it to just above the high.
Here?
Yeah. Yeah.
2 to 1.
2 to 1. This is very dangerous. Yeah.
I was gonna say right here would be my entry.
Would have been the trade. That's what
I
exactly what
just
I
had a
should.
feeling we would run this stop, and look how we ran both stops here. We ran this stop here,
Range
and then we ran
trading,
that
man.
straight.
Range
And
trading is so
that's
powerful.
range trading, guys.
So powerful.
So I would have been something along the lines of
I don't know why I
maybe.
did that. I should have. That's exactly what I was thinking, and I don't know why I did.
I mean, I was
Silly,
hesitant,
silly, silly.
but look at that. Look at that,
There,
guys. There you
that's
go.
the perfect trade. That was the trade.
There you go. And then
Beautiful.
look, it's so crazy because it's just that's the type of environment this is. You gotta know levels. Levels become so important.
It's funny because we just did that before, and we made that. I made that mistake. Well, that's good. I think that's a good thing because it just re-emphasizes how powerful it is just to wait and just play like the whales do. I don't know why I took that M. I should have waited for that.
Oh my
Roll
God,
my booty.
imagine taking that level. I mean, even you taking it here, if you had just had your stop a bit high, but it's dangerous, but you know, if you play it right, you get big moves like this. That's 2-3K right there.
I wonder if it hits that trend line.
Impossible. Look how it's rejecting. It's going. Oh no, it's not. It's gonna oscillate now. Um,
I would enter. I would draw horizontal support and resistance now
where?
at the bottom of that that no double that recent low.
This
Yeah,
one?
yeah. Just draw that. Um, and I would draw another one at that M, the midpoint of the M,
This one here?
not the other one. That really is that an M? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
This
there.
one here?
Yeah. Um,
Are you trying to like take a long up into here?
yeah. Maybe that's a little bit small window.
It's not a great window,
Yeah.
but it probably is gonna hit. I mean, if you really wanted to, you would try and take it here, but see how dangerous that is.
Can you zoom in on that W and just check? Let's just see that Wyckoff. Just zoom in onto the recent price action. Yeah.
This one here?
Yeah, that it'll probably tag that Wyckoff.
I don't think so. I think we're gonna come back down here.
Let's see. Oh, beautiful. Exactly.
Yeah, this I
Not
when
very
you
powerful.
see a Wyckoff like this, that's not powerful enough. It
Yeah.
because in terms of day trading, this gets wiped out very easily. It always comes back down to test lower lows.
Hmm.
Um, but that's experience speaking. So
Yeah.
and but at the same time, you know, at the same time, I've seen it just you know hit this bounce off Wyckoffs and do that and then continue up. So it's more like an A B C D type trade. And you know
Yeah.
that's the flexibility is you gotta that's momentum in a range. So it's little nuances that you just got to pick up on, and it takes time to learn. But look at that. I thought this would happen
Okay.
instantly. Like this is me getting hours and hours of getting destroyed on day trades. I see these moves because I've just been hurt by so many trades that I've tried to take longs up here, and it's not a great long. Like, you know, it's happened. I've tried to take longs up here. It's not a great position because where are you? You're in the middle of nowhere here. If anything, take take a short here and go down here. A B C D. It's like if you're trying
That wasn't
if you're trying to long here against the downtrend, you're going against the river,
yeah.
and look at that. Look at where that ABCD might take you,
Tagged
and that's a rough drawing. So let's get very so somewhere around here. Who knows? Who knows? But it's supporting. It might not work. And now we've gone past we're heading into New York now, so this is just a range now. Yeah, look at it just bounce off between here. There's probably going to be a New York short down into here.
Is that a bullish engulfing there?
Where?
At 850. Yeah.
850. Like here.
At 9 o'clock.
Here.
Yeah, there.
No. But it's bullish. But it's bullish.
I wonder what the Bollinger Band, if you put the Bollinger Band on this, what it would look like. Hmm.
But if you,
It's probably tagged the higher.
I would say up here.
Mm,
There you go.
beautiful.
Now, time-wise, this is New York, so if anything, I'd want to try and short up here. Yeah, I'd want to try and short up here. We've already run the stops here. I'm willing to take a short here. I'll take it here. I'll risk up to this, and then I'll take a 3-1. Probably gonna get stopped. Nope, I'm definitely stopped up here.
I'm gonna wait for the next print. One more print. That's probably where I'd take it.
No,
Sure.
now I'm thinking just up here is the target.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Put it on for me. Let me see.
You want a short?
Yeah, I'll put it in a short.
Right here?
Yeah.
Where's your,
I'll make it a really small risk window.
where? Here?
So look left.
Boom.
Take it to that right shoulder.
Here?
Yep. And then I'll take it down 2-1.
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Please listen.
Honestly, I knew I was gonna get stopped out. I was like, let me
Yeah.
just see.
But
Let me
no,
just
look,
see.
to be honest, fair enough. You can take it, but with a tight risk. But as soon as I was wrong here, it was never going to come back down. It's just gonna trend up, and
Is it
it's
gonna test that
it's
horizontal
probably gonna
resistance?
test it, and
Yeah, we
even
made a W through it.
even now here we're gonna test all the way up here now. So I'm thinking up here is probably a good area for a short, but even then, I've seen it just go up like crazy. So it's one of those things where you just got to be a bit careful. But look at that. They're just going sideways. We're probably that range is just all here now. Might even drop to here.
I would say draw a long bot and wait for it to.
Oh yeah, you're talking about a long bot
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah. I'll
It's a
just
big
wait.
stretch. It's a big stretch, but it's maybe doable.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on it. Yeah, nah. You gotta wait for more lows now. No, it's a deep retrace. It's you try not to do. Here's a lesson here too. Try not to do big bot setups like this because in a ranging market, this never works.
This
You
never
have to
works.
do
Yeah.
fibs. You have to do horizontal spawners. You can't do this
Mm-mm.
unless, obviously, if it did this. So in this case, it's most likely not going to do this. It's so rare that you see something like this.
Mm-mm.
But obviously, if you see it, take it. In this case, it's very rangy. So try setup wise, try and hunt more range setups for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna win in day trading. You can definitely do bots and momentum, but you gotta think smaller. You have to, it's a bit different thinking. Like you have to play these smaller
Time.
moves.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you could yeah, you could definitely still play them, but you gotta really pick and choose when and the time itself becomes very important for when you take these moves. But you'll learn that when you start day trading. But yeah, I think let's leave it at that. I don't know how long we've been going for, so
Hey, I think we've been going on for like 2 hours now.
yeah, yeah.
It's a big one today. Oh, an hour 30 minutes. Um, hey man, great to be back. Great to be with you all. Great to chat, Danny. Um, if you guys enjoyed this content and have found value in this, follow us on all our socials, do all that good stuff. And Danny, with that,
Peace.
peace.